Hi, Jim Dutton here with Texas Home Improvement, and I'm with Denise from Stone Age Granite, and we're actually in their shop here where they store some of their materials and do the actual cuts for the granite. And you know, it's not very often we get out to be able to show you how some of this stuff is done. So while I was here, I wanted to take the opportunity to talk to you for a second. And the first thing I see when I'm walking around is you can go into some of the discount stores and get thin granite. This isn't thin granite.
No, the industry right now is pretty much selling 3 centimeter, which is 1 1/4 inch thick. Back in the day, 20 years ago or whatever, when granite was first coming up, I would say everybody chose 2 centimeter, which is 3/4 of an inch. They do sell it in some slab yards, but you don't see it very much anymore.
Has an issue of sometimes cracking?
No, it has no issues. It's rock, it's strong, but I think down the pike, somewhere along the line, designers have preferred the 3 centimeter thickness, and they've got people in the mindset that if they use the thinner stone, it could break. Now, nobody goes and stands on it. I wouldn't do that, but it's not going to break. It's typically used, it used to be typically used a lot in bathrooms.
Okay.
But your kitchens, because there's nowadays these new home builders are building big giant kitchens, you want a big, more bold looking kitchen, so that's where your 3cm I think looks best.
Okay. Any issues with the weight on the cabinets? Shouldn't be.
No, we've never had it. I've been in this business over 20 years now, and never have had any cabinets cave in. No, they're fine.
Okay. Now, there's a lot of different types of granite, colors and design patterns. People tend to make the mistake of thinking they look at this and they say, okay, I want the whole thing to look like that. Granite's a natural stone.
It is. It's a natural stone, and all your cabinets are 24 inches deep, and then with your overhang, it's 25 1/4. So, although you see this big slab with all this movement and stuff, depending on how it's cut, because we cut like rectangle.
Right.
So you have to take into consideration you're going to get 25 inches across. So it may go down like this and then disappear, you know, into another piece. There's not anything we can do about it. You just have to be aware that where it looks great is in islands. That's where you really, because islands typically now are just so huge.
Right.
You get a big piece of stone, you get to see all this movement. It's just your focal point.
Now, here's a sample of what a lot of people tend to see on granite a lot of times. You can actually see, you know, the drills from when this stuff was quarried.
Right. The way that they quarry those is they cut out big blocks from the mountains or whatever, and they use these like pipes, and that's where you see these type of things here. That's where they hold them, and then they slice them up. And that's where you get all that. Now, when we cut it, obviously we have to cut everything straight. Right. But that's where that comes from. Okay. Those are the
now, you got one over here that I think is just gorgeous. You have to tell us, I mean, beyond just a huge color difference, the granites come from different parts of the world to get these different colors.
Right. Brazil, Africa, China. Well, we don't have too much China. That's probably Brazil. Most of our stuff is probably coming from Brazil. It's a lot more dense. Different quarries, different places in the world.
Right.
But that is called Desert Dream. It's gorgeous. I wish you could see the whole slab because it's got a lot of beautiful movement in it. More higher end stone.
Well, I'm not feeling beefy enough to move those slabs over this morning, so we're just going to leave that alone.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that is really unique.
Yeah.
Those are really unique.
Now, Stone Age Granite, though, you guys deal with more than just granite, because I noticed, like, this is a piece of silestone. I've seen quartz out here, marble. You got a lot of different things you deal with.
Yes, yes. And the quartz is really becoming very popular. One of the reasons, I believe, is because of the lack of maintenance. You don't have to seal it like you do with natural stone. And even so, I try to tell people, because they're real concerned about stains. Right. But the way, again, back in the day when I first started, the stone was either unresined or resined, meaning that there's like an acrylic that they put over the stone, and that's why you feel a lot of stone and it's real soft, real smooth, because all the pits in the natural stone have been covered with the acrylic. And back then, without the resin, you could get it less expensive, but who wants all those pits in there? That's where you start getting all the stains. That's where you start getting when they're wiping their counters.
That's where it's porous and it'll absorb
porous and all that. So now that's all they offer is resin stone.
Okay.
So because of the resin that's on these materials now, some of these things you don't even have to seal. We seal them anyway because it's part of what we do. But most people, after a year or so of being so cautious with their stone, they forget about it and they never get stains.
Right.
So I don't think it's anything that I don't think people need to be worried about it anymore. It just, really, there's
Technology has evolved.
Yeah, it has, and that's where they've taken that idea and started producing quartz because they're like, okay, you don't have to seal it, it doesn't stain, which is true. But because it's man-made, it's more labor-intensive, and it is going to be more expensive.
Okay. Now, Stone Age Granite does a lot more than just the tops. You guys do bathroom and kitchen remodels.
Remodels, yes, we do.
Outdoor kitchens.
Outdoor kitchens, a lot of outdoor kitchens. People are, doing a lot of outdoor kitchens. I mean, yeah, we get a lot of remodels. We've got a crew of people, several crews of people that do remodels under us and directed by us. So everybody's different.
Yeah. Now, when somebody's ready to, say, redo their countertops, how long a process are we talking about? Obviously, they got to come in and pick what they want. So from that point on, how long a process are we looking at?
Well, depending on the workload at the time, because it's really weird, because first it comes in all at once, everybody wants it in a hurry. Maybe for the holidays coming up, we go through this every year for Thanksgiving and Christmas. But typically it takes a week or less. Once you've made your decisions with your stone, if we don't have the stone in stock, it is local. A lot of places, there's a lot of stone yards here, so we bring it in the following day. We'll send our template guys to go make templates. They bring them back, start cutting, fabbing, cutting sinkholes, polishing, and then they load up and go install. So it's usually about a week process.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you showing us around. And Mary, just because I'm here looking at granite does not mean I'm ready to change out the kitchen quite yet. I know you've been asking, but we're going to hold off a little bit longer. Now, if you want to get more information, go to our website, thipro.com, or go straight to stoneagegranitedallas.com for more information about Stone Age Granite. Other than that, make sure you tune in Saturday starting at noon on WBAP in Dallas, 2 o'clock KTRH in Houston, and of course back on Sundays on KRLD. Have a good day.